show you how to make my braided ear warmer. So the size that I'm going to make today is the child size, and it's going to measure, once it's done, from side to side, it's going to be 8.5 inches. From top to bottom, it's going to be 4 inches. So this is what it looks like when it's done. So what we're using is the Hometown yarn by Lang brand, and it is a super bulky size 6 acrylic yarn, and I am using an 8mm crochet hook, and you will also need a tapestry needle or a large eye needle for the very end. So for this pattern, you will need to know how to do a foundation half double crochet for the child size and larger, and you'll have to know how to do a foundation single crochet for the smaller sizes. So I'll slowly go through the beginning foundation crochet in case you've never done it. So you're going to start with your slip knot on your crochet hook. So we are going to start off by chaining 2. So we're going to go 1, 2. So in my pattern, this initial chain doesn't count towards any stitches, but all the rest of the rows, the initial chain will count as your first stitch. Again, I'll say it again once we get to that point. So this is the beginning. So we have chain 2. Now we're working a foundation half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to work into the first stitch here. So it's second from your hook. So you're going to insert your hook. And you want to get 2 loops on it. You're going to yarn over and draw through that loop. Now we're going to make our chains. You're going to yarn over and pull through the first loop. So this is our first chain, and this is going to be our half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 like we normally would on a half double crochet. So that's our first. To make our second, this is the top, this is our chain. So you're going to turn your work, and you're going to see it's starting to make V's, just like it would at the top or bottom of your normal crocheting. So you're going to yarn over, you're going to find the base, you're going to go through both of those. So again, you have gone through both of the base, yarn over and pull through. So you have 3 on your hook. You're going to make your chain, yarn over, pull through the first one, yarn over, pull through all 3. So now we've made 2 foundation half double crochets. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to find that base again. Again, it will make V's. We'll go through both of those, yarn over and draw through. 1, 2, 3. We're going to make our chain, yarn over, pull through the first, yarn over, pull through all 3. So the first chain 2 doesn't count. Then we have 1, 2, 3 foundation half double crochets. So for this size that we're making, it's the child size, and it calls for chain 2 and then 32 half double crochets. So I'm going to work up a couple more just to show you, and we'll do 32 total. Yarn over into the base, make sure you're picking up both loops, yarn over, draw through, yarn over, pull through the first loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now it is important to make sure that when you're doing this base chain, just like your regular chaining, that you don't do it too tight. So make sure that you have that slack so that you don't have a tight chain that doesn't have the elasticity of the rest of your piece. So I'm going to make up my 32 and I will meet you at the end. So I've worked 31 of my foundation half double crochets. So we're going to work one more together. We're going to yarn over. We're going to insert it into the base through both loops. Yarn over, draw up a loop. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over, make our chain. And yarn over, pull through all 3 to make our half double crochet. So if you're not sure how to count your half double crochets, you can either count by their post or at the top of your half double crochets. So you'll have your chain 2 and then you'll have 32 foundation half double crochets. So now we're going to turn our work. We're going to chain 1. Now, like at the beginning, I said the chain 2 at the beginning of your foundation half double crochets does not count as a stitch. And the rest of your rows, your initial chain will count as your stitch. So this is coming out of this first V, which is this one right here. So this is this stitch here. So we're going to work into this next one. So we have chain 1. And then we're going to work single crochets across. So we insert our hook, we draw through a loop, we have 2 on our hook, yarn over, draw through 2 to make our single crochet. So I've worked my chain 1 and 30 single crochets across, so I have 1 left. So like I said, it's going to be worked to the top here, and that initial chain 2, nothing is worked into the top of that from the foundation half double crochet. So we have 1 more single crochet, and we're going to turn our work, and we're going to chain 2. So now we're going to work 20 half double crochets. So we've chained 2, then 20 half double crochets starting in this spot here. So yarn over, insert our hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. So we're going to work 20 of the half double crochets, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over to draw up our loop. We have 3 on our hook, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, draw through all 3. So again, I'll show you that. So we have yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and draw up a loop, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through all 3. So we will work 20 of those. And then I'll show you how to work the next step. So we have now done our chain 2, and then we've done 20 half double crochets. So this is where our actual braided part is going to come in. So our last half double crochet is in this spot. We're going to yarn over, we're going to insert our hook into that same spot, yarn over, draw up a loop. So we have 3 on our hook, We're going to yarn over, we're going to pull through our first loop, we're going to yarn over and pull through all three. Now if this looks familiar, it's the same as what we did to make our foundation half double crochet. So we're making another foundation half double crochet of 11. So we just made our first one. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to find that base V from our last one, yarn over and draw through a loop. So we'll have 3 on our hook. We're going to make our base chain, yarn over and pull through that first loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. So as you can see, it's not connected to our other piece here. So we're going to yarn over, go into our base again, make sure you're going through both of those parts of the V, yarn over, draw through a loop, make our chain, yarn over, pull through all 3 to make our half double crochet. So now when you're counting, your first one here is from our initial 20, and this next one here is our first one of our 11. So we have 1, 2, 3 done of our foundation half double crochets. So we're going to work up 11 of them, and then I'll meet you at the end. So I've worked my 10, I'll work one more here. So it's yarn over, insert, yarn over, draw up a loop, make our chain, yarn over, pull through all 3. So we're going to turn our work, we're going to chain 1, and again this counts as our first stitch, so we're not working into this first one, we're going to work into the second one, and we are going to single crochet across. So now you should have the chain 1 and then 31 single crochets all the way across. So I will do my single crochets and I will meet you at the end. So I've worked my chain 1 and then I worked 29 single crochets across, and I just wanted to make sure that you know that we are working 1 into this last top, and then we are working 1 into the top of our previous chain 2. So this is number 30, and then we're working 1 to the top of this chain 2. So we have chain 1 and 31 single crochets across. We're going to turn our work, and then we will chain 2. So now we are going to work 20 half double crochets again. So we're going to yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. So we're going to do 20 of these, and then I'll show you again how to do that foundation half double crochet for our braid. So I have worked my chain 2 and my 20 half double crochets, and again we're working into this base of our last half double crochet for our foundation half double crochets. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and draw up our loop. So we will have 1, 2, 3, and we're going to make our chain. So we're going to yarn over, draw through our loop, we're going to make our half double crochet, we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's our first of the 11 we're making. So we'll make one more here with you, and again we're making sure we're going through both both parts of the V. So you want to make sure that there's two parts so that the base of your chain looks good. Yarn over, draw through one, yarn over, draw through all three. So I'm going to make my 11 here, and then I'll meet you again at the end of this row. So I've worked 10 of the 11 foundation half double crochets. We'll work one more, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, draw through, yarn over, pull through that first loop on our hook, and yarn over, pull through all three. So now we'll turn our work, and we'll chain one, and then we're going to work single crochets across. So again, there'll be the chain one and 31 single crochets. So when I get to the end, I'll show you what's next. So I have worked my chain one, and then I've worked 29 single crochets, and just showing you again, you're working one into the top of the half double crochet and one into the top of the chain two. So once you have your 31, you're going to cut a tail, and you're going to want to leave it 18 inches roughly long. And you'll pull through, and you're going to tie it off. So the shorter tail from the beginning, I'm just going to quickly weave in, and then I'll show you how we do our braid. So this is our shorter tail from the beginning. I'm just weaving it in so that I can cut it shorter so it's out of our way. Just weave it so that it's secure, but you also don't see all the stitches. Just weave it in a couple directions. And then when you do go to cut it, I like to make sure everything's laying nice and flat, nothing's too tight. Pull it slightly taut, cut it, and then when you go, it just kind of pulls right back in. So now that we have that woven in, I can show you what we do with three that we have going on here. So I find that they always kind of slightly have a curve to them, and I like to use that to our advantage. So I flip it so that the curved side is down, and what we are going to do is we're going to braid. So we're going to take the one on the right, which is the top, go over the bottom, go over, and then the right again, go over. So the way I can tell is if I've done this properly is my middle is back at the middle, my top is at the bottom, my bottom is now at the top. So I'll show that one more time. Starting with the top, over, bottom, over, top, which is your middle, back to the middle. So now once it's braided, you're going to fold it in half, and we are going to seam them together. So you can either use stitch markers to hold them in place, or you can use your hand. So you're going to take this first one, and I find that doing back and forth, going from the bottom up, which I believe is called a mattress stitch, gives the best look in the end. So you just want to make sure that you have them lined up where they need to go. Make sure that they're still in their right order. Make sure you're not doing it too tight because you still want the elasticity to be the same as what your crocheted stitches were. So once you get to the end, make sure that everything is lined up. And then you're going to tie off and weave in this end. So once all the ends are woven in, this is what it looks like. So we have our braid, and this is where the seam is. So there's no seam at the back at all. So it just looks like one continuous headband. And like I said, I have sizes from baby all the way up to 3 different adult sizes that are available. And this one is the child size, measuring 8.5 inches by 4 inches.